Welcome back to Popcorn and Beers. We've got your drunk classic, This Is Where I Leave You. And of course, your butter on top, Mickey 17. Let's go. Welcome back to your favorite best friend's dead uncle's best friend's dad's favorite movie review podcast show. As always, where some use tomatoes and others use thumbs, we use the stuff that gets you drunk. Welcome back to the Carlsberg. That's what we've had pretty much all week long, since the Super Bowl, all month long, for a while now.
Got that Waterloo, baby. Tropical fruits, one of the better flavors.
I just need you to say Waterloo hoo-hoo every time. Like,
I refuse.
That's all I hear. What commercial is that? What is that from? Why is that like a... Yahoo, that's what it is. You nailed it. Look at you, you 90s ass baby. I love it. All right. So, we had a butter on top that we were all excited to see, and because Josh graced us with his movie presence and went and saw it, let's open with Josh this week and see what Josh thought of Mickey 17.
Mickey 17. This is from the guy that made the movie I haven't seen yet, but I'll probably watch it next week, Parasite. And also, Parasite. I didn't know he made Snowpiercer.
Yep,
that's cool. Also,
June.
Yep. This was a movie. This was a movie that I thoroughly enjoyed, with heavy topical satire down to the red hat.
Yeah.
But despite it being like multiple times in the movie, I'm like, man, this movie is long. But the whole time, I wanted more. I was hooked in the whole time. I loved the whole movie. The dark comedy always gets me. So much about the movie was just really funny. It's hard to describe, but it's very macabre, of course, because it deals with death quite a bit. It deals with a dystopian future that's not too far from the present, and the types of people that, Mark Ruffalo was basically a Trump type, and his handler was the people that are handling him, encouraging him.
The church, the company. Yeah. I mean, the company.
The church, the company. They kept going back and forth with that. So good. Man, I just loved this movie. It made me smile, laugh out loud sometimes, made me feel feelings. The acting, Robert Pattinson did a good job. I liked his Tom Hardy-esque American accent.
Yeah.
Everyone in the movie did a great job with the delivery. Ruffalo, I don't know about an Oscar, but he should get some recognition for how exceedingly obnoxious and in the role he was, as well as Toni Collette, his wife in the movie.
Yeah.
Also, set designer, great. How did they make such a nightmare creature look so adorable? I give this a popcorn and 2. Mickey 17 was a great movie. I'm gonna watch it again.
It was fun. I enjoyed it too. Jordan, what did you think?
Yeah, it was fun. The obvious connections to what we got going on in the world right now. Elon Musk-esque type guy. He's getting shot in the face. The grazing, and it was good. It's very topical, like Josh said. That voice that Robert Pattinson puts on throughout this movie is it's hard to buy in for most of the movie, but the timing, paired with that voice, makes it works. It works, and I respect Robert Pattinson for taking this role and really giving it his all. He does do these kinds of films from time to time. He had a weird A24 movie called Good Times, I think it's called, and he played a similar kind of guy, but more of a druggy burnout type. But it was it was good. It reminded me of that. I didn't feel as I kind of wanted it to end. I was like, they need to land this plane and do it soon. So I guess it was the perfect length. Any more, I would have been, I was kind of starting to pull my hair out a little bit. The whole creature thing, they kept dragging it on and on. Is this really the focal point, the climax of this movie is these alien
genocide.
Creatures?
They wanted to commit genocide. It was all allegories for other things. So with the creatures, it was literally the Pilgrims. That's what it was. It was literally the Pilgrims. In fact, I wrote in my note, okay, got it. So this is the story of the Pilgrims. We helped you and you murdered us. Is literally a line that is said in this movie.
Yeah.
Like point blank. And I was like, that was heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
So much of it's very heavy-handed.
Yeah.
The delivery made it okay for me.
Yeah. What's with the sauce? What is that?
I love
what
the
my
sauce.
notes too. Is that?
I love the sauce. See, I was wondering about the sauce too. Not really a spoiler for the audience, but there's the sauce, and I think that's just an obvious allegory for elitism. You know what I mean? And that's solidified for me in that last part with her. You know, there's even for someone like you can recognize a delicious sauce.
Yeah.
And think of the sauces. And so that was just it reminded me very much of the factual historical thing that the English did, which was powdering up mummies and eating it. You know what I mean? We ate mummies. Like mummies were extracted from the pyramids and they were ground up and eaten. That's what really happened. So that's what I was reminded of.
Oh God. Well, thanks for ruining the rest of my day. Yeah.
Ever
That's
in my
a
life.
fact. That's a fact.
Jordan is a history professor or teacher.
Look it up. We ate mummies.
Well, I give Mickey 17. I give it a popcorn and 1.
That's a
high
fact,
popcorn
Fry.
and
I'm
1.
sorry.
I don't even know what to say, Josh. Usually I just have to sit here in it because you just lobbed that into our lap.
Well, I mean,
like, what are we gonna do with that,
That's what I
Josh?
thought
Where do
of.
we go from eating mummies?
Because
Okay, I just looked it up. Yes, the English ate mummies as medicine.
yeah. Okay. It's just like with her with the tail. She made a sauce. She didn't even make a sauce. She just blended it and called it a sauce.
She took
you know what I mean?
that poor thing's tail. Like it was so terrible. She's such a terrible person. The character she played. Yeah, it's the literal story. We saved you and you killed us is one of the quotes I wrote down. And then I wrote down, I'm still good meat.
Yeah. I love that. I love that.
That was making me laugh. Why aren't you eating me?
Shout out Stephen Young.
Yeah. He was great.
He played the kind of shitty two-faced friend very well.
Yeah, Invincible.
Yeah, over and over again, just keeps backstabbing him and keeps backstabbing him repeatedly. The girlfriend was fantastic. I thought that role was played as perfect as you could, especially when they get high on oxygen, right? Like, that was an interesting, like, little twist to it, is... Yeah, we get high, but we get high on oxygen, like pure oxygen, and you have to steal it. That's that's more symbolism. You're stealing pure oxygen from the elite to get high.
Yeah.
Like it was a good movie. I'm gonna say that. It was Naomi Ackie was the actress I was trying to think of. She was great. The whole, well, you get 17 and I get 18. That was a little interesting, like little twist to it.
I liked her. I liked her performance and her character better than the girlfriend.
Was it Holiday Granger? Is that her name?
That's an awesome name.
But no, that was Gemma. So Kai was Anna Maria Vartomel.
Nice.
Vartomel. Anyway, it was fun. All the aspects of this movie made you think. Like, if you really wanted to be inside, you had to really think about what Bong Joon-ho wanted you to process with this movie and how he wasn't going to let you decide how you took it. He was going to force feed you.
Yeah,
this is how it will be interpreted.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, parts of it I was into it, and parts of it I was like, be subtle here. It's okay to introduce a little bit of subtlety. But at the same time, like, that hasn't worked for American society. Like, subtlety, intelligence, it hasn't been something that we latch onto and go, that was a great movie. Like, they want it spelled out for them, and Bong Joon-ho did that. He spelled it out for him.
Yep.
And in my head, what I said was, is this any type of existence? Like, are you still a person at a certain point?
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, definitely he signed up for this role and whatnot, but, like, come on, it's pretty cruel, the things they're doing. Like, at least treat him like a person, like he's doing a job. Yeah. He's not a criminal, he's just like a guy who signed up for a job, and you're just, like, treating him like straight up garbage.
But, I mean, that's...
From the beginning.
That's the truth of society, especially from a Korean director Korean is a very clear-cut caste society, and they have people that are dregs, and they're treated in such a way. And that's not too far from any other place in the world. You know what I mean? Like, people get treated. Classism is like very powerful.
Yeah, and this had all of that mixed in. It was a good movie. Like Josh said, I'm gonna go pop 2. I was on the fence, pop 1, pop 2, pop 1, pop 2, pop 1, pop 2, over and over and over
I was
again.
2 or 3 personally.
No, Josh, you made great arguments. You made great arguments, and that pushed me into a pop 2. Overall, the acting was great. I don't think we're gonna get any nominations out of this film, like at all. I don't.
Maybe a nom for a Globe. Maybe
like effects or some.
It's March. It's March. Like, that's so rare. Like, I think it's just Dune 2 that got that this year. So
yeah, maybe, but who cares? I mean, I don't. F the Academy. When you're talking about heavy-handedness, I think that was known. You know what I mean? I don't think that was a mistake. Like, my example is the thing that holds his psyche or whatever, the brick, literally was decorated to look like a brick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and she goes, "Isn't that cute?"
Yeah, so I think so much of it was on purpose, and that's the joke or whatever. It's a dark comedy, whatever. I don't know.
Like, all I do gotta say, no, you're right.
So much of it, I mean, I went into this thinking, you know, it's a Korean guy, so it's going to be gruesome in some way. And it has, you know, there's sexual stuff, there's drug use, there's violence. But all of that this could have been a PG-13, don't you think?
Yeah, it wasn't super intense. Like, even the sex scenes, I don't think they were super intense. I thought some of the stuff was kind of stupid. Like, oh, let's draw all these sex positions.
Yeah.
Like, that was
I mean, even when his skin is melting, that's not even that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was the symbolism of the classism, Josh. I remembered when you were talking. What got me was all the scientists drinking behind the scene as his body just flops onto the ground out of the body printer.
Yeah.
Like, even the female scientist gave up on, like, caring about him at a certain point. And you'll know which one I'm talking about when you see the movie. So yeah, it looks like an average of pop 1.5 or 1 and maybe 2/3 for Mickey 17, the latest film by Bong Joon-ho. But Jordan, this is where I leave you with our drunk classic.
Yeah, this is the perfect summation word to tag this movie with is charming. This is a charming movie. All right, it is a large ensemble cast. You know, Jason Bateman, Tina Fey, Adam Driver. Who else? Keep going.
Nope. Catherine Hahn.
Rose Byron. Yeah, it just goes on and on and on. There's
everyone in this is a named actor.
Yeah.
Jane Fonda.
Yeah, and every character gets theirs.
Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah, every character
gets
has a great storyline, like ancillary characters like Boner.
Yeah, even Boner.
I love
Ben
that.
Schwartz. Just Ben Schwartz thrown in there.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Every character you can relate to something going on, and you know a little bit of every character's thing going on. You know, I really liked this movie. It was kind of like I put it on yesterday, and I was like, God, am I really in the mood to watch this right now? And then like very quickly, like 10 minutes in, I was like, oh yeah, like you know, the whole girlfriend thing. It's just like, oh God, it's just, yeah. If you really feel for Bateman, yeah,
man, Jack Shepard. Oh boy, he really nailed asshole.
Yeah.
At every turn, he nailed asshole.
Yeah. I give this movie a popcorn in 3. I think it's just a great, perfect family sibling dramedy. I don't think it gets much better than that.
That's all you got for us on this film that you made us watch. It's your drunk classic. It's got so many people. It's so cute and wholesome.
He said what he said.
Yeah. Every character has their moments, and yeah, I love it. It's great. It's great. Very funny.
I love the little boy when Jason Bateman is talking. He goes, "You know, the only one that has his shit together in this whole family, Cole. Yeah. He grabs his potty and he runs outside and he takes his shit, and everything is just right with the world."
And then he's like, "Show me a happy adult."
Yeah, which is so true, by the way. Like, it's so true. Like, you can't wait to get here, and then you're here, and you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
What is this? Responsibility, heartbreak, tragedy. Everyone you grow up with starts dying. Like, what the hell is going on with this whole life thing? Sorry, that was a little Seinfeldian.
What's the deal with life?
But then I love Catherine Hahn, who there's no malice there, but not reading the room and what just happened to Jason Bateman's character, Judd, as his wife literally had been sleeping with his boss for a full year. And I love what Tina Fey quotes there, which is, "You weren't in love." And he goes, "I was." And she goes, "You weren't."
Yeah.
She was cheating on you for a full year and you didn't notice. That's not love.
Yeah.
So that's heavy there. But Catherine Hahn, not reading the room, wanting a baby so bad, finds out that Quinn is pregnant, so knows that his baby gravy works. So she goes down to sleep with her brother's, her husband's brother, who just already went through this situation with his own wife, thinking that he's going to do it to his brother, but it's not in malice. Like, there's not an ill intent there. She's like, literally like, I just need to get pregnant. Like, yeah. And that's a theme from the very beginning. So Jordan, you shrugged there. What are your thoughts there? Did you get in trouble with Lizigan there with your commentary?
No. That's just, I don't think the intent really matters. That's pretty
gross.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, it's pretty wild action to
absolute
to go for there. Yeah.
But even making it there, like making it that far, is pretty desperate.
She got like lingerie and shit. Like
it was all planned out. Connie Britton's amazing in this. Like, no, I know I'm too good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. She plays that role perfectly, where she's dating a child and it's kind of like her own little midlife crisis. I don't know. I mean, the beginning hits you literally like a brick, like right in the face. And it's hard to deal with initially, but I love that he gets the football players to flip his car. And of course, they're all bros.
Yeah.
Gosh, Princess Cut, like I said.
Princess Cut,
I'm trying to read through my notes. What's that?
It's a Princess Cut, bitch.
Yeah, like that's one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah.
Timothy Oliphant, like, did she send you to get me because of the brain injury?
Yeah.
I'm going to give this a popcorn and 2. I really enjoyed rewatching it. I thought it was beautiful on many levels. I think it's necessary to think through these things, and I think it's necessary to have films that make you feel.
Yeah. And
this one did it. Josh?
Make you feel, but it's not a movie where you know, like, it's a movie that's sad for the sake of being sad. You know what I mean? It's so authentic. And there's sad parts, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, usually a movie like this, there's the big scene at the one part where everyone's like, "Oh, you're gonna cry." You know what I mean? But this doesn't have that. I forgot how good this movie is. I've only seen it once before, and it was like around when it came out. Everyone in this movie nails it, but I don't know how I always forget how good of an actor Jason Bateman is. He's so good.
Yeah.
His delivery is just perfect. His facial expressions, he's so razor sharp. Man, he's funny without even trying. And the whole movie is just pleasant because of the perfect chemistry between all these brothers and sisters and mother.
Yeah.
This is the family reunion movie to watch because everything is so authentic and so lived in. You know what I mean? Everyone gets a little piece. Not everything gets tied up all the way, but that's what family is. You know, there's just things that happen and things that don't happen, and that's just the way it is. Perfectly summed up with Tina Fey and Timothy Oliphant's storyline. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was really heartbreaking in the end and heartbreaking in the beginning, but it had its moments of sweetness, and that's just what it is. That's where we're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Beautiful movie, popcorn and 3. My only beef was there's the whole like, "Oh, you're still in this town? You never left this town?" That kind of thing. And I'm looking around like, this is a pretty cool town.
Yeah, right.
Like, this is a huge step up from where I currently live. You know what I mean? Like, this is a nice town.
Yeah. I think it's mainly just notes about never growing out of your home.
I know. And wherever you are, there you are. And what you're used to is always the grass is greener, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I thought it was a beautiful movie. I love how it didn't have this super sweet gets the girl in the end ending. It kind of did, but it, like I said, it doesn't tie everything up, and I think that makes it even more genuine. Popcorn and 3.
Yeah,
Cheers.
The bar there was awesome. They had an awesome bar in that town. When I saw that bar, I was like, I would love to go have a drink in that bar. That bar looks great. All right, so let's jump right into what we were watching. I will lead us off. I watched 0 Day on Netflix starring Robert De Niro, Mr. You Talking to Me? And he plays the most beloved president ever in the United States history that only served one term. And it gets into why he only served one term. He does a great job in this. It's something very plausible that could happen. It's a software attack on American soil that shuts down the power grid, shuts down everyone's phone, causes train accidents, makes trains go off the track, because everything runs on cyber now. Everything's running on some form of AI, some form of technology that allows us to move throughout the world. There is episode 2 where a Russian spy dies, and it caught me off guard. And it's something we've seen 1,000 times. I'm going to tell you what happens, but a Russian spy dies, and it literally made me be like, oh, holy shit. like when it happened, and then I was like, that was awesome. Like, that was awesome. And it's not like I haven't seen it before. It was just set up so I wasn't expecting it to happen in that episode. Like, episode 2, just a trip, especially with like no reasoning behind it. Now, Robert De Niro in episode 4 has a quote when he's talking to a Joe Rogan conspiracy theorist, Breitbart type person, InfoWars, jackass idiot that just spreads propaganda. And I thought this line was pretty poignant. He says, you just think this is a big fucking joke, don't you? Tearing this country apart, lighting fires just to make a fucking buck. You're a parasite. And I love that, because that's incredibly true about where we're at and how people just say things that aren't true. To include Elon Musk, who said about, 50 million condoms or something going to the Gaza Strip, and then someone called him on it, and he goes, oh, I'm just going to be wrong sometimes. I got to count on you guys to correct me. Like, no, stop just saying shit. You're not allowed to just say shit. You can't
just say stuff, dude.
Yeah.
You can't just do that.
So I love that line, and I love the delivery from Robert De Niro in that episode. The ending is predictable. I will say that. Like, you see it coming from a mile away. But they wrap it up in a nice bow. It is kind of like a fever dream you're caught up in. So it is a quote, actually, from it. How long do you think we have left? With half the country caught up in a fever dream of lies and conspiracy, and the other half shouting about pronouns. And I was like, Jesus. Like, and it's just all talking about how they're using all these hot button topics, all these sexy topics that mean nothing, to be clear. Yeah. They mean nothing.
Because they don't want to talk about infrastructure. You know what I mean?
Or they don't want you to look too closely about you're about to get fired. Like, you're about to get fired, and where's that money going to go? They don't want you looking there, so they get you spun up on something that does not matter. I gave the show overall a popcorn and 1, but it is an interesting watch.
Okay.
Josh, what are you watching?
You were talking about quotes, so I got to go back to this is where I'll leave you real quick. My favorite quote from that movie, anything happens all the time. I just love that quote.
Yeah, anyway. I'm an asshole, but I'm not stupid.
Yeah, that was good. Well, I watched something sort of similar to you regarding secrecy and stuff like that. I watched The Recruit, Season 2 on Netflix. I reviewed the last season last week, and I'm reviewing this season this week. I don't know if there's going to be a Season 3. It seems kind of open, but not like a cliffhanger like last time. You know, it's just like, okay, maybe we can keep going. I don't know. I think I did that on purpose because they're not sure if it's going to make it. I'm not sure if it's going to make it. Season 2, it could. I wouldn't be mad. Season 2 was good. Not as great as the first one. Maybe it's just I'm hungover on the cliffhanger. But they wrap it up okay. So Season 1, he's doing all this CIA stuff, and he gets caught up. He's just a lawyer, but he has to do a lot more operative things that he's not used to doing, he's not qualified for. This season, he's fully operative. Not that he, is all of a sudden a commando or anything, but he just he's all the way in on accident into these covert ops and terrible things that he should be nowhere near, but he's in Russia and he's going here. Yeah, because he's just a lawyer. But they do a good job of like weighing that, and balancing that out because he doesn't know how to fight, and they make that believable. And I'd say this season it gets a popcorn and one. It's watchable. It's good. There's not really anything particularly wrong with it. It doesn't go off the rails. There's no shark jumping, but it's just so
shark jumping.
You know what I mean? But it's okay.
I got you.
It's okay. Yeah, The Recruit. Check it out.
Is it a background show, season 2? Is that what you're trying to say?
It could be a background, but there's a lot of you got to pay attention though. So I don't know, because there's a lot of twisty turny, blackmailing and. I betray you and now you betray me stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, that leads us into the obvious place where we have to go now. We have to go to a horror movie. Like, duh. So, Jordan.
A horror movie. Well, this is something entirely new. This is a new genre of film. This is the horror rom-com. Horror-com. Yeah.
Harambe.
It's all done very, very cheesy on purpose. The horror is very campy, slasher, cheesy, like not to be taken serious, and the rom-com aspect of it as well, which they get that in there. It's some serious rom-com attempt there, but
they get it in there.
They do. It's overall. This is just a tacky kind of. Low budget, just like they're having fun. They're having fun making this. A bunch of B-list actors. We got Olivia Holt as the final girl, the main girl. Mason Gooding plays the boy love interest, and he's doing his best, kind of Ryan Reynolds shtick. Okay. And then
was he good at it, or was it bad?
No, it was bad. It's bad. He's very annoying. He's super annoying. Yeah.
It's got Josh Rubin. Josh Rubin's a long-time College Humor guy.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
Long time.
I didn't know Devon Sawa was in this, so that's great. Good for him. I like him. Final Destination franchise. And then Jordana Brewster.
She's been around forever. She was like, I remember her, obviously Fast and Furious, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like the first remake, and then like
she was in the Faculty, 2000s. No?
Is she in Faculty too?
I think so.
Golly.
Potential October drug classic. Yeah, the mask is cool. And it's clearly a ploy to sell these masks for Halloween. Like, clearly. Because they're just like, the mask has like all these features and just like, it's never really... Like, how do they get this technology when you find out like who the killers? You're just like, how do they make that? The opening death is pretty hardcore. It's like I said, it's very tongue-in-cheek throughout. The detectives are named Hobbs and Shaw. And they do make light of like the movie, we know. Yeah. The best friend gives a speech where she like references the titles of a bunch of rom-coms. This is love, actually, and then she like strings together like 10 names of rom-com movies.
That's good.
I love that.
Yeah, it's very cheesy. Writing. It was a fun watch. Like, definitely, this is a fun watch for like October. You know what I mean? Background movie. Put it on in October, and you won't be too upset at it. I give it a popcorn, honestly, but it's fun. It was up my alley for sure with the cheesy horror comedy.
It's nice to see little explorative measures, horror rom-com. That's cool.
Yeah.
Something new. And I want to say, when Josh and I are able to button down this website, we will have a section where we keep all of our ratings and our drunk classics, so that way we can go back at the end of the year, was our goal, and say who had the best drunk classics, what was our favorite butter on top.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And hopefully we'll have a space to write some stuff, and you guys can write back. But we're working on it, I promise. We're going to go to Babylon, which is a film, when we first started this podcast, this might have been like our second or third drunk classic. Party Butter on Top. And it wasn't out here in England, remember? So only Jordan got to go see it in the theaters. And he said he liked it. I guess 2 years ago I thought he didn't like it, because I didn't.
Really?
It was like 3 hours and 16 minutes.
It's way too long. Way too long.
It's
Isn't
so
that the
long.
one that had all those actors in it, and it's like, kind of like, what is this?
Yeah. And it is. It's a mishmash. is what it is of a film, because you got like, and it's supposed to be the progression of film from the silent film era, the costume picture era, all the way up through talkies, right? And it's got Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt. It's got a ton of people in it.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this: the first hour is all you needed. The first hour of the film, you needed an hour, and then take 30 to 45 minutes to wrap it up, and we're there. Okay, so here's my full review. First hour is, I hate that I keep doing this to myself, a fever dream. And while interesting, it just makes you feel sad and depressed while trying to tell a story of evolution and the emphasis that everybody is left behind by somebody at some point. You just have to make sure that you leave something behind that can be remembered. This film falls short of that. It tries the title, or pardon me, oh goodness gracious, Josh, cut this out.
No.
It tries to tie everything together, but at the end of a 3-hour film, you get a montage to do so. And it's a montage of all these great films, and it's just not enough to make up for a film that comes up short and is basically just average. It's too much. It's trying to do too much, and everybody is sad, and everything is sad. No story is redeeming. You just are left depressed with, like, Hollywood. Basically, the movie is telling you Hollywood chews you up and spits you out. It uses you for what it needs you for, and then casts you asunder. And it does it in ways that are just depressing. It doesn't make you happy. It doesn't make you want to go to the cinema. It makes you want to cancel Hollywood, to be honest. This movie was a popcorn for me, and that is Babylon, starring Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt, available on Netflix now. Josh?
I watched another season 2 of a different show on a different network, Apple TV. Again, I'm way late to the game, but Ted Lasso, season 2. You guys watch Ted Lasso?
Yeah, finished it. Loved it.
Check it out, dude. Check it out. It's heartfelt. It's easy watching. It's like honey.
He is
It's
a soccer
honey,
player now.
It's honey on toast, dude. It's a fun show. And season 2 is just as good as the first season, if perhaps a bit aimless. But this kind of show, you don't really care. I mean, it's lighthearted. Even the sad episodes are sweet as pie. This season did have a cool episode with Coach Beard having a night out, where he just goes on this.
I just came to say hello.
Yeah, man. He has this wild night that was like kind of reminiscent of some nights that I've had where things just keep going weird. So that was a cool little like divergence from the show in general, and it's on my list of just like top 100 most beautiful episodes of a show.
Okay.
It was just a beautiful episode. It kind of like was a non sequitur episode, but it was beautiful.
It's funny because you see the beauty in that, and that episode was largely panned by everybody.
Oh, I bet, because it had nothing to do with the show, and it was totally off the beaten path, literally and figuratively, because of the way the episode went. But it was great. I'm already into season 3 now because the show is just great. It's sweet as pie, like I said, but you're very invested in all the characters because you love them all. You love these characters. It's a beautiful show. Popcorn and 2 for season 2. That's on Apple TV. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Keely and Roy Kent.
Yep.
Jordan.
What?
Mean Creek.
Was that my turn? Yeah. Mean Creek. Next movie I watched was Mean Creek. It's one of those kind of cult classic movies that it for some reason it pops up on my Facebook feed. Like, obviously Facebook's algorithm knows like I'm into movies and stuff with the podcast and all that, so it like sends me the occasional post where it's like, oh, Mean Creek and blah blah blah, it like breaks it down. It's a movie from 2004. It is a young Josh Peck. The husky young Josh Peck in his Nickelodeon days, like maybe after when he's kind of trying to break away from that Nickelodeon kind of
so weird
typecast. Yeah, because he plays a bully in this movie,
dude. I'm sorry, quick timeout. I've never heard of this movie, and it's never been on my feed until this week. I saw a scene from this week.
Is it where he's yelling at the little girl?
Yeah. What the hell? Where'd that come from?
Exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's how I found out about this movie, and I was like, "Whoa, Josh Peck is going for it." So yeah, there's just a lot of like his delivery and stuff as the bully. Like he acts his ass off as like a young teenager. You know what I mean? Like he kills it. I don't know what happened to Josh Peck. Like I like him as an actor. I really do. What?
No, I'm just kidding.
And Rory McCulkin, the third.
Oh yeah,
McCulkin, I believe the third.
Rory McCulkin.
Rory Culkin. Sorry. Macaulay
Why'd you make him
McCulkin.
ultra Irish?
Rory McCulkin Schmidt.
And yeah, he's in it. This is the whole movie is like
it's back to back, by the way, Jordan, because he was in Dead Money too.
Oh really?
Last week, what I reviewed, yeah.
It's a revenge plot movie basically. Josh Peck is this bully, and he's kind of like the town kind of idiot kid. He's been held back many years. Like he was in the same class as the older brother, and then got held back a couple years, and now he's in the same class as the younger brother. He's like older than all the kids, and he's like a huge bully. And so a bunch of the friends and the brother, and they devise this plot to like take him out on this river, and they're gonna like strip him naked and make him walk home or something like that.
I've seen this.
Yeah, you just know.
This, yeah.
It's a very raw, like the whole movie is like, it's just kind of, it's ominous. You know that something sinister is going to happen here. Like this is all going to go terribly wrong. Yeah. And it does. It's just very kind of it's anticlimactic. It's very unceremonious, kind of the way that this whole incident goes down. But the resolution is just like bananas. Like it's just like, there's so many mistakes, such a series of mistakes made by these kids trying to figure out like how to handle this situation. Yeah, that just makes it so much worse. But it takes place in the backwoods of Washington. It's beautiful, beautiful movie. I give it a popcorn and one.
This is the movie, Jordan, where he takes a video camera and he films a spiral on the TV, and he's like, "This is the inside of my brain." Yeah. I knew it. Like the second you said they take him out on a creek, I was like, I've seen this. I know what movie he's talking about now. Yeah. And I'm gonna close a loop here to answer the question: what's Josh Peck doing? Well, he was in Oppenheimer.
Yes. Oh, small part. I can get like a few lines. Yeah.
And he was Turner in the remake of Turner and Hooch.
That's right. Yeah.
He was the dog.
All right. So the final thing I watched, Josh accused me of being a
classic killer.
I watched I Love You, Man.
Yeah.
All right. And I don't know, votes, I lost on this, and we have an even voting system. This is the most democratic thing we have in our country right now, is this show, because it is 3 people. And I got voted down 2 to 3 because I was like, is it a classic? And both were like, it's absolutely a classic.
Yeah. Definitely a classic.
Yeah.
So I apologize. I love Joe Triglio's Elmo voice. Yeah. I was dead every time he was on screen. Like I was dying. Like I could not stop laughing. Like I would not be able to bench with him doing that. I would just start laughing.
Anytime me and my boys would be doing any kind of physical activity when this movie came out, everything you got!
Well, what I would do is remember the fencing class, and he's like, "Fuck you, Dale! Fuck you!"
Yeah.
Or the John Favreau's character as well.
Oh, in your face! In your face!
No, it wasn't cool, man.
I forgot about that. You're gonna do something like a cheerleader tonight.
Every single time. And then when Jason Segel's toasting them at the wedding reception, and he goes, and we got this guy and his smoking hot wife. But yeah, you guys are right. There's so many funny scenes in this. Slapping the bass, obviously epic. You told my fiance she needs to give me blowies in front of my whole family. Like he does that. Jason does that role so well. Like it's like perfect for his demeanor, perfect for his facial expressions. Yep. It is so on point. And this isn't just a movie about a guy trying to make adult male friends. This is a movie about being an adult trying to make friends. If you really think about it. Like, it is so difficult to make adult friends. Like, Jordan's going out and he's doing everything he can to stay in shape, but it's really because he's lonely and he only knows his family. So he's got to go make friends and do soccer and softball and, like, everything else.
Put myself out there.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes to meet people. But the truth is, it just gets awkward. The older you get, it's weird meeting
Hard
new friends.
to meet people, man.
Yeah, and you have to put yourself out there when you do meet somebody, and that's what Paul Rudd does. And I love the nickname. Do you guys remember the first nickname he gives Jason Segel?
Jobin. That's what all my friends call me.
I've been called Jobin a lot, yeah. Because of this movie.
It's perfect. If you want to throw on a movie in the background, it's just going to make you giggle throughout it. Couple belly laughs, but you're just going to giggle throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like the speech. Yeah, the
smells
speech.
like farting here.
The speech, I was pretty dead throughout most of the speech, and that girl that just poured it on way too heavy with him. Some people don't. Some might.
What about the gay guy?
Yeah, from Reno 911.
Yeah. Man. So good.
J.K. Simmons, Andy Samberg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like, I just thought he had all kinds of friends. It turns out he just wanted to suck all their dicks. And then the mom goes, like, whatever his dad's name is. And he goes, no, Dad, it's cool. I did. It's just a funny movie. I'm going to give this a popcorn and 2, which leads us to my drunk classic. We've had we had 89, right? 1989 was Tango and Cash. Then we had 1999 with Dirty Work from Josh. And I was like, man, I'm on the fence. Like, what should we watch this week? And then Jordan gave us something that makes you feel. And I'm going to follow up, I think, with something that's going to make you feel something. Starring a young Kirsten Dunst, a young Tobey Maguire, a young Paul Walker. We're watching Pleasantville.
Pleasantville!
Nice.
It's not
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst. Is it
yeah.
it's Renee Zellweger, right?
No, it's
Or is
Kirsten Dunst.
No, it's
It's
Kirsten
Kirsten
Dunst.
Dunst. I got it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, is it Reese Witherspoon?
Reese Witherspoon.
Ah,
Did I said 19 wrong names?
yeah.
All these blonde white ladies.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Reese Witherspoon. It is, yeah. But yeah, so Pleasantville will be our drunk classic. Now, for our butter on top, I do want to encourage you guys in the United States. I believe it comes out this week in the United States to see Novocaine.
Yeah.
I believe it comes out this week in the U.S.
Yeah.
It does not come out till the 28th of March here. So we'll do Electric State, starring Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh, wow, that's getting panned hard already.
It is.
I'll probably watch that as well as Novocaine if I can, probably.
Is that
But
on
let's
stream?
It'll be Netflix.
Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
probably Friday, I think. But let's
the
also
13th.
not forget we have a finale coming, Invincible season finale. So we'll
Yeah.
have a review for that.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
believe also Severance. Am I wrong?
I have to look at the episode count.
I think Severance gets its finale, but we'll double check. Yeah, very exciting week next week.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited that you're excited. All right. As
Okay, bye.
always, everybody, thank you for joining us each and every week. You bring the popcorn, and we got the beer.